Studies. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. My name is Mr. Melendez, and I'm going to be bringing you today's lesson, and it's going to be about the review of the Great Depression. So this video is going to do several things, and I'm going to explain along the way what it is that I'm going to be doing. As you can see in front of you, I have access to the PowerPoint slides, which will also be posted as part of your assignment. Please make sure that you view the entire PowerPoint slide, because for this video I'm only going to be talking about certain slides. So let's go ahead and begin. Our focus question for today is, how did the Great Depression impact society in America? I highlighted the word impact because what that means is that I want you to think about how did it influence or how did it affect the society in America. Think about cause and effect, right? The Great Depression was the cause, so the effect is, how did America respond to the Great Depression? And that's what impact is. What is its influence? As I was telling you before, I'm only going to be talking about certain causes throughout the slide. When you're looking through the slide, the slide will mention 6 causes. I'm only going to talk about 3 of them. So let's go to the first one. Hold on. Okay. So in the first slide, which is slide number 4, you're going to see that there was this credit system that was established. And it's not like the credit system that we have now where people have credit cards. But what happens is that new stuff was popping up, new technology and new things for the house that people wanted, such as refrigerators and washing machines and things like that. These were new technologies, even cars. These were new technologies that were available at the time. But unfortunately, it would take many, many years for people to save up the money in order to buy it. So places like stores invented a installment plan, their own version of a credit card, where you would go ahead and purchase the item and take it home with you that day. And then every month you would pay a little bit off until it was completely paid off. Why is this part of the contribution or part of the problem of the Great Depression? Is because a lot of people who went and got these installment plans later on found out that they couldn't afford the payments. So if you were able to afford the payments, which means that the store that gave you the item is going to lose money. And if this is happening in a big scale where thousands of people are borrowing money to get items and they can't pay it back, then potentially the store can shut down, and because they lost so much money. That would be one of the contributions to the Great Depression. Let's go ahead and go to slide 8, and we're talking about the stock market. People bought stocks on margin. So let me explain to you what margin means. Margin means is that I am only going to pay a small portion of what the stock is worth. So for instance, in this explanation, if a stock is worth $100, I'm only going to pay $10 worth. The other $90 is coming from the bank, which is a loan that the bank is willing to give me. All right. So the way the stock market works is that I'm hoping that the stock market would make money, and that my stock, which is worth 100, is now going to be worth more. So let's say it's worth $130. Once I cash in the stock and the bank takes its $90, I'm left with a $40 surplus. I made $40. And that's what people would hope would happen when they buy stocks. Unfortunately, the reverse happened. That $100 stock that you bought on margin is now only worth $50. So what happens? You didn't have the money to pay for the stock, so you can't pay off the loan either. The bank loses out. And if the bank did this to thousands and thousands of people, the bank would lose so much money that the bank would have to close. And this is what was happening, this domino effect that was happening throughout the United States when the Great Depression was going on. The last one is called agriculture overproduction. And we know that this word here, agriculture, is just a fancy word that means farming. So at the time, farming or farmers were so good in their job that they were able to produce a lot of crops. The problem is that not a lot of people were able to afford those crops or weren't buying as much as they grew. So I'm going to use the 100 the number 100 just like we did with the stocks. If I'm a farmer and I grow and I want to sell 100 pieces of corn, but only 50 people buy 50 pieces of corn, what happens to the other 50 pieces? Because it's crops, eventually it's going to go bad and I'm going to lose money. So if I lose money, that means that I can't keep my farm going. And what happens is that I might lose my farm. If I lose my farm, most farmers at the time, the land that they bought were bought through loans that the bank gave them. So if I don't make money on my crops, I can't pay off the loan to keep my farm. And there goes the cycle. The other part is the no crop rotation to the and it contributes to the Dust Bowl. So let me show you what I made here. And just to give you, let's say this entire square is a farm that I have, and I have 4 quadrants. The way crop rotation is supposed to work is that I am able to plant crops in 3 of those quadrants, and in the 4th quadrant, I don't plant anything. This quadrant right here that I'm circling is going to be allowed to rest. What happens is soil is just like anything else. It needs time to rest in order to rebuild itself and to have all the vitamins and nutrients that it needs to grow crops. What was happening during this time frame is that if I left this alone, what I would do was I would go ahead and plant here the following year, and then I would give another quadrant a rest. That way, each quadrant has a rotation to where nothing is planted, and it'll allow that particular area or that particular quadrant to build back up. But what was happening is that most farmers, because they wanted to make money, were planting in all quadrants, not allowing the soil to rest. Through time, the soil would just turn into sand. Basically, no moisture, no water in the soil. It had turned into sand, and that is what contributed to the Dust Bowl. Heavy winds blows the sand, and then the rest is history. Okay? So I just explained to you 3 causes of the Great Depression. As you view the rest of the PowerPoint slide, remember that there's 3 other causes that contributed to the Great Depression. So now let's get to the assignment. This is going to be your directions for the independent practice. So let's go over it quickly. After you're done viewing the PowerPoint slides, will be attached to Google Classroom. Also is going to be attached 2 videos. We need you to watch both videos. Both videos are very informative about the Great Depression. When you are done viewing the 2 videos, you are going to write a short response explaining which cause you think had the biggest impact on the Great Depression. Again, that word impact. So which one had the biggest effect? Which one had the biggest influence on the Great Depression? Was it buying on credit? Or was it the stock market buying stocks on margin? It is up to you to decide which one you're going to be writing about. When you're done with that and you post your response on Google Classroom, you're going to also respond to 2 of your classmates' short response posts. This is going to be like a virtual discussion, okay? So you're going to use your discussion stems. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Google Classroom. And as you can see, there's already assignments here. So let's say I have Iman right here. Iman made a post. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment on her post. So on here, I already typed out, I'm going to add more information about what Imam discussed about ... The ... would be the information that you would add your comments on. You can also maybe say, I agree with, excuse me, hold on, let me go back and spell it right. I agree with Iman about the margins or about the buying on credit because, and of course the because you fill in the rest. Okay, so you're using your discussion stems in order for you to respond to your classmates' post. You need to do 2 of them in order to get full credit for this assignment. So let's go back to the instructions. So you're doing several things. You're watching the 2 videos, and from the 2 videos and the slides, you're going to write a short response explaining which cause had the biggest impact, the biggest influence, or the biggest effect. Make sure that your response is at least 1 paragraph, 4 to 5 sentence minimum. Once you are done posting your response, you want to go ahead and comment on 2 of your classmates' short response as well, using your discussion stems. All right, everyone. So this is the end of the video. If you have any questions, go ahead and you can post them on Google Classroom, or you can send myself or Miss Sonia an email. The beauty about this video is the fact that you can pause it, you can rewind it, and you can hear the instructions over again. So I would implore you to do that first before you go ahead and send any other emails or texts to both myself or Miss Sonia. Anyway, class, go ahead and start looking at the videos, start drafting your short response, and make sure that you're posting. Remember that in order to get credit and also to be checked off as for attendance, you need to post. If you don't post, you don't get credit and you're not going to be marked for attendance. Okay, everyone, I hope this was beneficial for you. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them on Google Classroom or send us an email. Take care, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you online tomorrow.